Associate Professor of Jawaharlal Nehru University in New Delhi. He will be presenting a paper on the podium, Education and Research in Indian Intellectual Tradition.
With a special reference to the Shastric tradition of Sanskrit. This is very important. I don't know why it is not written. But if this avachhedak is not there, na, the paper would be too wide then.
The best presentation is not to read the paper.
That's fine. No. Dhyanamoolam Gurumurtir Poojamulam Gurupadam Mantramulam Guru Vakyam Mokshamulam Guru Kripa Mokshamulam Guru Kripa. Respected Chairperson Sinha sir, distinguished scholars and friends. Actually, my paper has got two parts. One is about education and another one is about research methodology. So, we have a very rich tradition of education and research in India, especially in the Shastric text of Sanskrit. But unfortunately, it has been eclipsed by the modern education system. And if we want to make a holistic system of education, we need to incorporate our Indian system of education and research also along with the Western education system which we have. I have made slides and only certain points, because the paper is too long. I would like to highlight a few points only, and you will get the essence I want to convey to you. First of all, I would like to tell about certain cardinal features of Indian academics, or which is reflected in the Sanskrit text. And the first point is, we have a synthetic approach, not analytical approach. And Vedas are the center, and 18 disciplines are co-centric. They are well connected with each other. There is an organic unity among all the disciplines. And Shastram Shastrantaranubandhi, it has been told that one Shastra is connected with another Shastra. The second very most important point, a striking feature about Indian education is that science and spirituality are not opposed to each other. Rather, they are complementary to each other. And Vidyamcha, pen drive. Vidyamcha avidyamcha yastad vedo bhayam saha avidyaya mrityum tirtva vidyaya amritam ashnute. So, Vidya is the supreme knowledge, and all sciences, technologies and different subjects are coming in avidya. And let me tell you about the Upavedas especially, because out of 18 disciplines, one is Artha Shastra, that is the Upaved of Atharva Ved. So, Artha Shastra is not about polity, it is not about economics. We know about Arthashastra as it is written by Kautilya. I am not talking about that Arthashastra. Arthashastra is a cluster of different disciplines. Even cookery is the part of that. Different art forms are included in Arthashastra. Military sciences are different, but all those disciplines which are left in these 17 disciplines are included in Arthashastra. So, Vedas, Upanishads, etc., which talk about spirituality, but sciences are also included, and there is a coherence, there is a great connection. And the third important point is that our education system is not person-centric, but it's system-centric. Even Shankaracharya is a great scholar, but he is not more important than Advaita Vedanta. Though he is important, in a different way, but the tradition is more important than even than Shankaracharya. Then we have a very important aspect of our education system is that our approach is cosmos-centric and not human-centric. This human-centric development model has given so many problems in the world, and our saints and sages understood this fact. So we believe in a cosmos-centric approach of education. Om Dyav Shanti Antariksha Shanti, etc., etc. So well-being of all, Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina, Sarve Santu Niramaya. And I would like to quote one verse from the Bhagavad Gita, that it is not just about sentient and insentient world. The West is talking about this sustainable development and other things nowadays, but it was very much there, and it was not just connected to our planet Earth, but for the entire cosmos. And Devan bhavayata anena te deva bhavayantu va parasparam bhavayanta shriyam param avapsatha. अन्नाद भवन्ति भवन्ति भूतानि पर्जन्यादन्न संभव यज्ञात भवति पर्जन्यो यज्ञ कर्म समुद्भव. So this interdependence has been shown, and only planet Earth is not a part of this system, but the entire cosmos is a part of the system. So this is very important aspect. Then we have the quest of knowledge which we have. It's a kind of inward journey, not outwards journey. Why so? Because whatsoever is there at macro level in the outer world is present as inside within us as in micro level. So it's a wastage of time. It's a wild goose chase to look outside. So if it's better to see inside, it's better to see within to understand the reality. And the last one is that our knowledge system is intuitive. Our knowledge system is intuitive. And I would like to quote one example. If somebody holds your hand, and even the modern scientific apparatus can tell the pressure exerted, the heat transferred, but the apparatus cannot tell whether this touch is with love or with hate. So we can sense it. Directly we can sense it. In the same way, the great revelations of Indian education system has been done through intuition, not through experimental verification. So this is the beautiful part of Indian education system. Since I have very less time, I would like to tell certain things about the research methodology which has come. I have changed the slides, the order of the slides, because the important part I want to tell first. Usually students come to us, and when I was a student, this was a problem with all of us, that how to do chapterization. How to do chapterization. And if we see most of the thesis which come to us, it seems that the thesis is not a thesis, it's not an integrated whole. It's a cluster of 2 or 3 MPhil degrees without any connection, just bound together. So there must be a coherence, and our Sanskrit Shastras talk about the coherence. There are 3 types of coherences: Shastra Sangati, Adhyaya Sangati, and Pada Sangati or Pad Sangati. So Pad Sangati, that may be alphabetical; Pad Sangati, the coherence of word, that may be chronological, etc., etc. Shastra Sangati is the connection between the 2 Shastras. I would like to tell especially about the 6 Sangatis or 6 kinds of coherences which has come in the Nyaya Shastra, how to connect one chapter with another. So the first Sangati is Prasanga Sangati, that is called coherence of context. When a curiosity of something which is inseparable from the previous point automatically comes in mind, it should be dealt with immediately after the point. It is called coherence of context. I am leaving the Shastric examples. I am trying to explain it from modern examples. After exposing a particular point, its causes, counter examples, exceptions, limitations, etc. are also mentioned due to the coherence of context. Some examples are as follows. After mentioning about the property of a medicine, its side effects and precautions should be mentioned. Causes of different pollution should be mentioned right after mentioning their types. In Ayurveda, just after mentioning the property of ghee, it is mentioned that it should not be taken with honey in equal quantity. So all this are mentioned through the Sangati, Prasanga Sangati. Then second kind of Sangati is Upodghat Sangati, or coherence of elaborating the components. I have tried to translate these Sanskrit terms in my own way. I may be wrong, but I have tried. So just after giving the definition of something, the component terms present in the definition are explained one by one. This is called the coherence of elaborating the components, Upodghat Sangati. Like Traeger gives the definition of language. The definition is, a language is a system of arbitrary vocal symbols by means of which a social group cooperates. So there are several terms like system, arbitrary, symbols, vocal, etc. So if we want to use this Sangati, Upodghat Sangati, we will have to explain these component terms right after the definition. And this has been used by the modern scholars definitely. But we have these systems. Then Hetuta Sangati, or coherence of dependence. If the understanding of a topic depends upon the understanding of another topic, the dependent topic is explained right after the base topic. This is called the coherence of dependence. The classical example, sorry, I want to leave that. In legal writing, after clarifying the basic terms like first party, second party, etc., the judgment is written, because these are the basis of the judgment. In the Indian Constitution, the definition of a state is given in the Article 12 before mentioning the fundamental rights. It is to be noted that all forthcoming articles are dependent on the notion of a state. That's why it has given in the beginning. Then Avasar Sangati is there. Out of two connected things, if the less important occasional thing or auxiliary thing is mentioned just after explaining the more important thing. I have taken one example from classical music. One apt example is mentioning here, being mentioned here from the discipline of music after explaining Rag Marwa. Its similarities and dissimilarities from Rag Puriya and Rag Sohani is explained in accordance with the coherence of occasion. Then we have Nirvahakaikya, or coherence of common causality. After talking about a common cause, all its effects are explained through the coherence of causality. The example is taken from environmental science. And after talking about the global warming, its effects are mentioned one by one through this kind of coherence. Melting glaciers, melting glaciers, rising sea levels, forest farms and cities will face troublesome new pests, etc., etc. So one by one these are mentioned through this Sangati. And then Ekakaryatva, or coherence of common result. After talking about a common effect, all its causes are explained through the coherence of common result. So if we talk about the problem of population growth in India, so its causes are to be given with in accordance with this Sangati, like widening gap between birth and death rates, low age of marriage, high illiteracy, religious attitude, etc., etc. Akshep Sangati is there, coherence due to implication. If something is implied and that thing is to be mentioned right after the main topic, like 18% GST on certain services implies dining in restaurant would be costlier, train tickets would be costlier, etc., etc. Then Drishtanta Sangati, coherence of illustration. Illustration is to be given right after positing the doctrine. Then Mimamsa Sangati, or the coherence of explanation. So explanation is given right after the positing the doctrine. These are different kinds of sangatis which we can be incorporated and used in modern research methodology to make a holistic education and research system. Then we have a system of Shastric writing in Sanskrit without using punctuation signs. Just one punctuation sign is there in Sanskrit, that is full stop, and no punctuation sign is there, but still the Shastras were written and the scholars used to understand these things. How come? So use of certain words like nanu for positing a doubt, keche dahu, anne ahu, nanu for the opponent's view, iti for direct narration, tanna for refutation, tathahi for elucidation, atra samadhi, atra uchyate for answering the opponent's view, iti vibhavaniyam for a polite disagreement with an idea, etc., etc. So certain examples are there. Then how to write a research proposal, this we can take from Mimamsa. Mimamsa principle has given this thing. We have 7 things: upakram, statement of problem, upasangar, abhyas, apurvata, phal, arthavad, and upapatti. And mind it, if we use this thing now, any research proposal will be absolutely perfect. Though I am not saying that the modern system of research methodology is something less than what we have, but this thing can be incorporated, and we should remember our own system. Review of related literature, that is very important part of research, and for that we have 2 nyayas, Singhavalokan Nyaya and Vihagavalokan Nyaya. So Vishwanath and Jayant Bhatt, etc., has used Singhavalokan Nyaya for before explaining Khyativad, etc., etc. He has posited several views before him, and similarly Vihagavalokan Nyaya has been used in Shri Bhashya of Brahma Sutra, Laghu Purva Paksha, Laghu Siddhant Paksha, etc. So just crux of the entire doctrine has been given through Vihagavalokan Nyaya, or bird's eye view. And then each topic should have 5 components, and these are theme, Vishay, Vishaya, Purva Paksha, Uttar Paksha, and Sangati. This is also taken from Mimamsa, which has been found in Vedanta philosophy also. So for each point, if we use, definitely we have a very concrete writing of research. And then for each argument there should be 5 components, though this is debatable whether the component should be 3 in number or there should be 5 in number. Whatsoever we like, we can use this, and if we use this, these components of an argument, pratigya, hetu, udaharan, upanay, and nigaman, definitely our argument would be very sound. This is the Indian style of syllogism. So this is very powerful for this positing an argument. Then we have talked about different kinds of Shastric writing. Only one thing I would like to tell. We have different kinds of chapterization. There were adhyayas, ahanikas, parichedas, tabaka, unmesh, nihishwas, udyot, kand, etc. Just see the course module they used to, our seers used to make. Like Ahanik is a course module which was taught in one day. It's something different that today in the entire semester we cannot teach one Ahanik. But Ahanik was a course module which was taught in one day to the students. And with this, I would like to read out the conclusion. After this discussion, it is clear that India has a very profound knowledge system, especially in the Shastric tradition of Sanskrit. Our indigenous methodology reflected in the Shastric tradition of Sanskrit is unique and emphatic. It is complementary to the modern research methodology and can be applied in the modern researches of various disciplines as well. Its relevance is evident by the fact that even the contemporary scholars of Sanskrit have used them in their Shastric writings. One name I would like to tell here, Pandit Ramavatar Sharma of Patna, from Chhapra basically, and he has written one dictionary, Mahamahopadhyaya Pandit Ramavatar Sharma, Shabdaranava. You just see this dictionary in a Shastric style. It's a great example of how to write lexicons. So even modern scholars are using that, and its relevance is evident by the fact that even the contemporary scholars of Sanskrit have used them in their Shastric writing. We must peep in the Shastric tradition of Sanskrit and harness it properly to boost the modern academics and research. Thank you. Thank you so much.
So, we have got 15 minutes time, to 10 minutes for discussion and 5 minutes for presidential remark. Is it okay? Oh. 10 minutes for discussion, because presenters, they have got very good papers and very exhaustive one. I wanted to restrict him because I told that better to present, not to read. So, but reading and presenting both can go together. Thank you very much. Thank you. So, 10 minutes for question answer. If you have got any question, please.
This is for Swamiji. No, the difference between Semitic and our traditions is very well known, which you brought it out. The issue is how they can be explained that the life of their prophets, whether Jesus or Muhammad, doesn't really transfer, show that they have to be so exclusive. Probably those traditions have come up later.
Yeah.
And I would like to know whether Ramakrishna Paramahansa, your mission is doing anything to do that part.
See,
because we listen these things all the time in our...
Through comparative study, dialogue, throughout world, this process is going on. So, philosophy students alone can develop this idea. In our country, we are having Muslims and Christians. By religion, Christians, Muslims are there. But their culture, their forefathers, heritage is Hindu. So, Hindu Christian, Hindu Muslims, they can keeping their culture, they can explain the importance of our culture. They can enrich the Christianity and the Islam. They are having another duty. So, by spreading intellectually by magazines and conducting this type of seminar, all these things, intellectually we are intruding to the world level. The philosophers are thinking the pluralism, concept of pluralism is getting importance. The unity and diversity is a must. So they are realizing now. In America, there is a research on religions. In coming 50 years, Hinduism is going to be the world religion. They came to the conclusion. So they sent 10 scholars to our country to study our scriptures, rituals, and our way of life, various way of life, everything in their own language, to write down books in their own language. So slowly it is getting. So in course of time, people will understand this way of life, the concept of family, the concept of brahmacharya life, the simple living, high thinking. All these things alone can give sustainable peace to the individuals, family level, community level, international level also. So it's getting promotions. So slowly it will win. Satyameva Jayate, it will reach the people.
So, I wish to make a comment on your paper, that is to characterize Semitic religion, that Judaism, Christianity and Islam into one basket, thereby saying that their motto is to convert or to finish them. I think that is not the correct characterization.
Right.
And even the Ramakrishna missionary spirit is preceded by Buddhist missionaries and Christian missionaries. And then factually another error is in Iraq or in even Pakistan or in other Muslim countries, there are other minority religions are also there. Actually, to say that they are not is not correct. Even in Iraq itself, there are Christian and even Baha'i faith people also there. Thank you.
See, the capitalism is for welfare of minority, communism for welfare of majority. Our Sarvodaya philosophy is for welfare of all. This is our contribution to this world. So our religion is also welfare of all, Loka Samasta, Sukhino Bhavantu. But these Semitic religions for all, welfare of the majority only, they are for majority. They won't tolerate, regarding Islam, there is a universal statement among the scholars. They are intolerant majority, turbulent minority, not required, intolerant, like this. So there is thinking is going on.
So last, please, brief question. Question pointed.
Thank you, Swamiji, for giving very inspiring lecture. My question to you is, at the very outset, you said that Ramakrishna did Vedantic sadhana for realization. I want to ask, after realization, how did he did other sadhanas? Because we people have been taught like Brahma Ved Brahmai Bhavati. So he was realized. So what is the point of telling that he practiced other sadhanas and got realization through it? You mean that Brahman, he was realized, he again became ignorant and then he realized that?
No. So he wanted to practice every path. Every religion is having certain sadhana methods. Methodologies are different. So whether they are correct or not, he wanted to verify. Just to give the religious harmony. He was for religious harmony. So to the world, it must be a scientific, a verified one. Without verification, you cannot give some statements. So Ramakrishna has practiced all world religions and gave the statement, through all religions man can become, attain moksha. This is the message. All religions are true. That is the message. That is our holistic approach. So his method is to practice, whether it is correct or not. So Ekam Sat Vibra Vadanti is confirmed through his sadhana. That is the message. We have to take it.
So, please,
I have two questions. First question is,
please mention the speaker.
Swamiji.
Swamiji.
So,
Swamiji has accepted both.
when we say the statement unity in diversity itself, it means diversity exists. We are divided in terms of color, religion, economical status, and borders. And when we, because of this diverse culture itself, there exists intolerance. And when I say that there exists intolerance, what we see is that intolerance against intolerance. That's the attitude towards people.
We are not intolerant towards the intolerance. So if you be in your own space, no problem. When you interfere into my life, then I have to respond to your activities. So if anybody disturbs the world peace, then we have to correct it.
Only one question will be sufficient. Please.
I have a very small question for me.
Okay.
And that question is that you are talking about the individual liberation, Vayaktik Mukti, where the entire people are suffering. How we need the holistic liberation, Sarva Mukti, and how this Sarva Mukti can be had through your liberation.
In our scriptures, Ramayanam and Mahabharatam are called as national textbooks. In Ramarajya, there was no poverty. Sharing and caring was the way of life in those days. If our Hindu way of life comes to success, there will not be any poverty, there will not be any unemployment. Every village will save the people. They will take care of the local people. It will be, the problems are decentralized. Every village will become a government. They are all decentralized. We will take care of everybody. So the probability, Amartya Sen says, gives chance to the people to develop their potentialities. Each soul is potentially divine. We have to allow them to manifest. To that, society will take care of the entire family, the entire village. So sharing, caring will give answer to your question.
So I think the time is over. So I must give the presidential remark. Will you permit? No. Okay. So that we can wind up. So I think I must congratulate all the speakers. So Swamiji has given very absorbing presentation, very interesting one, and Professor Mao, he's certainly given a philosophical exposition and analysis. Naturally, this is a new branch, new dash about philosophy of economics, and Dr. Satyamurti, wonderfully he presented his paper, though I'm sorry that I interrupted, I restricted, but the chairperson has to do the job, and I'm honest to my job. So now I give my reflections first, and then few remarks on the presentation. So I should concentrate on the meaning of holistic model. What is this holistic model? Where we find this model, in which text we find? That question has not been properly dealt with. Where, we are in the research center, Holistic Science and Research Center. So naturally, holism, it has been explained, certainly it has been explained that holism reconciles between idealism and materialism, secular values and the spiritual values. I would like to say that we can explain holism or holistic model from philosophical point of view, and there can be two approaches. One is the metaphysical one, the other is epistemological one. So keeping in mind epistemological one, so there should be reconciliation, and knowledge can be gained or obtained not only through reason or through sense experience or through intuition, but holistic approach, holistic model will be to just integrate sense experience, reason and intuitive experience. I should be very brief, otherwise it will consume much time. So that will be the epistemological explanation of the meaning of holistic model. Metaphysical explanation is reconciliation between idealism and materialism. There is no division or gap between idealism and materialism according to holistic model. So Sri Aurobindo has used the term integral philosophy, rather integral Advaitism, and there is a very close relationship between integralism and holistic model. That is just reflections on the meaning of holistic model. I must start with the paper of presentation of Swamiji. So naturally, I must congratulate him. It was so absorbing. And he has made a paradigm shift. So that requires how you explain the paradigm shift. That requires to be explained. In the contemporary context, we find there is a paradigm shift. When the Clash of Civilizations by Huntington was written, there was a paradigm shift. Previously, economic factors were considered to be the main responsible cause of tension, conflicts and war. Now the Huntington has shifted the paradigm. So he says that it is not the economic factors only, but the important factors are cultural one, civilizational one. So that there is a paradigm shift in the contemporary thought, and Huntington, the great Harvard professor, he has made a great paradigm shift. That paradigm shift requires to be I simply take up the philosophical and the technical point from Swamiji, and I should not. There is another point which is very important. True, I subscribe that Hinduism is a great candidate to be the world religion. That's true. If you go, I must remind a great author of Oxford, R.C. Zener. His book on Concord and Discord, where he has mentioned that this sense of religions, any Semitic religion, they suffer from the sense of dominance. So they want to dominate other religions. And that sense of dominance, that creates problem. Even Chomsky, the great professor of philosophy and literature of the Boston, MIT, there is a chair of the philosophy and linguist. So he also expressed that sense, this dominance, that creates a problem. And R.C. Zener, the great Christian scholar, he also he wanted to establish that Christianity alone can be the best candidate to be the world religion. I must mention that there is a difference between a religion and the religion. There is no possibility that the universal religion will emerge in the world. There is no possibility to me, because Hinduism is a religion, Christianity is a religion. So, in the present context, the world context, can be that can be the ideal daydreaming that the universal religion will emerge. or universal religion, that is that does not seem to be practical one. To me, we can talk theoretically. I should not. Uh, I should pass on to the Professor Mao has very definitely he has presented a very new branch of philosophy, because Amartya Sen he has written one book, Ethics and Economics, Economics and Ethics. So that he discussed philosophy of economics. So we welcome that you have rather given us a new, discussed the new branch of philosophy. So I must congratulate you. We meet frequently. So I have got some right to restrict him. Please excuse me for being a little bit discourteous. Of the stature of Swamiji or your stature, it is discourteous on my part to interrupt. I cannot say to Dr. Satyamurti, I cannot say that I had been discourteous. I have got, I know him because in the center I had a very great close friend. She is not here. She was Vice Chancellor of Sanchi University, Shashi Prabha Kumar, Dr. Shashi Prabha Kumar. So naturally, I can restrict him. I have got that liberty. But he has presented a very excellent. The only suggestion is that he clubbed education and methodology of research.
End session, we have to do few formalities, so please bear with it. I thank you and acknowledgement Professor Sinha conducting very detailed comment on all the dignitaries, Swamiji and Murti, Satyamurti and Dr. Mao. And we really gathered detailed information and we appreciate it on behalf of HSCRC and IPCR. We acknowledge your input and detailed work. Thank you so much. And we're gonna present participation certificate to Swami Sadashivananda. We're going to have certificate, participant certificate for Dr. Satyamurti.
आपसे मैं मिल चुका हूँ शायद इंडियन फिलोसॉफिकल कांग्रेस में शायद पहले आपके सेशन में मेरा
अभी बात करेंगे.
Dr. Mao, we have your certificate also, but they are writing it in the office. So please don't mind collecting it. Please, it's gonna take a moment. We're gonna give the memento for this occasion.
To take leave, I think. But otherwise
This is the memento we're gonna offer to Swami Shivananda, Sadashivananda. This is the memento from our institution. Dr. Satyamurti.
Secrets of Holistic Living, a very good book. I will.
Dr. Mao, please.
Thank you very much.
Sir, we have given you also our memento. While, yes.
Yes, I have thanked also. I must thank this center for honoring me. Actually, I consider it as honor because in such a beautiful campus and very learned people, I have got the opportunity to conduct this session. That is a great honor. Thank you, Geeta ji. Thank you to all.
Just a minute. All the participants and the doctors, we are very fortunate, lucky to have a holistic scientist and inspirer of this institution, Kanu Dadaji. He's right here. Jai Sachidanand.
You should have a word for blessings.
Dadaji, so he needs your blessings.
Without your blessing, this cannot be closed. आप बैठ के भी बोल सकते हैं.
To Sinha ji, Swami ji, and all participants to spread the message of humanity for a humane living in any walk of life that a human lives, irrespective of religion. I would like to talk about a book by a surgeon of the First World War, stretcher surgeon specialist, that in spite of being a great surgeon, he had his own personal notes written by him, and ultimately it got circulated within his friend circle in America. And in my engineering, second year engineering, my electrical professor gave me a list of books, all of students, that please go through some of these books. And one of them was Man the Unknown. So the friends circle decided, oh, you have put such a wonderful notes about a human being, in spite of we are such great surgeons. What surgeons can do? At the most, they can extend longevity, but they can't avoid the dead end. That is the point. It's a wonderful book. If you happen to get one, when I was in America, I tried to get, Amazon is giving that, but I wanted to inquire that whether the original book is there. I got one. Oxford, this Amazon is giving in some $20-25, and that book was not there. There are 5-7 copies. I got for $175, but I got it with signature of the surgeon. Man the Unknown. And Man the Unknown. Wonderful. He has connected the human life with the karma and karma philosophy, being a US surgeon. Wonderful. So, subject of religion is a very vast subject, but it cannot bridge the vastness of a human being. That is the basic point. And human-centric approach of all the religion is the essence of present day and need of the day. My blessings too. And I seek your blessings. Dada Bhagwan, and I used to be brought up by Master Dada Bhagwan right from the age of 5 and in his laps. But when I came to know him from an uncle to a Paramatman in my 33rd year, it's wonderful. Just that is called grace. Guru Guru, Jai Sachidanand.